What up? This is July from Kickback Couture. I'm going to be going over pretty much a sample beat, but R&B style. So I'm going to play. Actually, I'm going to tell you where I started. Believe it or not, I started with the hi-hat. So this is what they sound like. What's going on here is this pretty much. Closer look at the pattern, some triplets, eighths. I have effectrix on it as well. So it's the jig and hi-hat from my Kickback Couture kit. My Spyder Demon kit, sorry. This is what my effectrix looks like on it. So of course, some crush, bit crush, phaser, and of course, delay, sorry. Next thing I added was a hi-hat, an open hi-hat, sorry. And that's just simply playing on the one coordinate open hi-hat from my Spyder Demon kit. Next thing I started adding my snares. So here's the first snare. Actually, it's a snap. That's also from the Spyder Demon drum kit. Added a second snare for some bounce. Then this perk is actually a second snare. And this hit is nothing, actually. Yeah, it's nothing. I was planning on doing a second hi-hat pattern, but I ended up not doing it. So this is what the kick sounds like. Cage kick. And then I added the sample. So I started with my drums and I added the sample after. Many times you start with the sample and then you start adding the drums. I wanted to get a cool feeling with the drums before I added anything to it, just working backwards. I put a cool effect on the sample. Wow 2 by Sugar Bites. It's a filter and kind of gives it a wow effect. Without it, with it. And I only did that for the hook. Next thing I added was this 808. I added the 808 before the sample, so this is what it sounds like. So if you're wondering, the beat is in F minor. The sample was originally in C sharp minor, I believe. So what I did was I pitched it up 4 so that it would be in F minor. And then they went together. Next thing I did was add a second bass. So many of you asked me where you could find like a good snap bass or like a West Coast DJ Mustard type bass. So here's the preset right here. Sauce. Tight pluck bass. You can change it however you want. I did alter it a little bit. And I filtered out the lows and added a sub under it. And the sub I added came from Little LFO. You've probably seen me use it in a video before. It's basically just a simple oscillator. Nothing too crazy. It's free, I believe. LFO 2 is out, so I think that one's $9, and this one became free when that one released. So definitely check that out if you do not have it. Following the bass, I started working on the intro. So for the intro, I decided to use our lovely go-to halftime. So what I did was just automate the mix right here. Starts going down till it is off completely, and I automated the halftime bypass on and off. So this actually turns it on, and when it is not, this clip is not in the lane, it is off. So that was my intro. Then I started working on, started figuring out how I wanted to arrange it. So I alternated between the snap and second snare, back and forth. Then I got into the verse. Not really dramatic with the changes, but it's just enough to keep the beat going. Back to the 808, alternating from this bass to the 808. Break down before the hook. The last thing that I added to this beat was the bridge, and what that is me soloing on the keys a little bit with this new rack extension that came out. It is very CPU intensive, some presets more than others, but this is what it sounds like. I turned off the quantize to record this, so it had more feeling to it. And you can obviously hear that I did turn off the quantize. So I dropped the pitch of the sample here, an entire octave. So what I did was bounce this one in place, because this one was at +4. So once I bounced it in place, it was automatically back to 0, and I just dropped it down to -12, which is an octave from there. Then for the second half of this bridge, I added the bass back in. Went back to the hook and then into the outro. And I faded it out like so. If you don't know how to fade out your tracks, just right click this, edit automation, you'll get a clip, make it look like this. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a new video. Most definitely, let me know what you would like to see next. It's all culture.